Hey everybody, happy Thursday. It's at the end of our Ask Me Anything, so we're going live every Tuesday and Thursday. We answer your questions. My name is Dustin Strong, this is Strong on Health. And if you have questions, you can email us at info@strongonhealth. Send those questions in, we will answer them. Or you can ask them right now while we're doing this, and we'll do our best to answer those live right now. We had a public health talk at the 4-day weekend theater on digestion and some very important aspects of all parts of your health and your life. And we didn't get to answer all the questions that were submitted there, so I'm going to answer a few of theirs now so we can get all of those people's questions answered. And then I do have a question, well actually it's a topic about genetics. A friend of mine just had a post about that, and so I'm going to answer that on here too. So let's jump in, and if you have questions, let us know. Okay, number one question was, what is the best food to promote proper acid production? One of the things that we talked about that was incredibly important, and I probably could have talked more about, is the fact that you need stomach acid. Your body is created to be able to contain incredibly powerful stomach acid, and you absolutely have to have it. And we have so many people taking things like Tums and acid-stopping medications, we still have to be respectful of the fact that without that acid, there's so many things that can go wrong and so many problems. This talk was actually really well received, so much so that I am speaking with Standard Process again today about maybe doing it for practitioners in Dallas. The one we did for practitioners in Fort Worth was completely packed and sold out, so we're hopefully going to be able to spread this word and then go beyond the borders of the Dallas-Fort Worth area with that. So keep your eyes out, there's going to be hopefully some more. And if you have practitioners in the Dallas area that you think could benefit from looking into this, that's a place to send them. So anyway, foods to promote acid production. You know, one of the interesting things that I would think about when it comes to that is actually not necessarily a food so much, but salt. I mean, salt is a nutrient that we have been told to get rid of over the last few decades. And we have to have a good source of salt, like a good Himalayan salt or a sea salt, because we still need that chloride to be able to make the hydrochloric acid. So one of the reasons people having a little bit of a challenge making stomach acid is they don't have enough salt in their diet. So make sure you're getting a good healthy salt would be another one. Zinc is incredibly important for the manufacture of hydrochloric acid as well. So zinc containing foods would be important. Pumpkin seeds are almost always my go-to. Of course, seafood like oysters are going to be a great source too, but pumpkin seeds are going to give you a lot of other nutrients, and it's going to be a little easier on your digestion, so I would focus on that one. You can also add in things like apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar to drink a little bit in the morning, just like a teaspoon, tablespoon, and a little bit of water is one of the ways that I start my day almost always here at the office, so that can be helpful for it too. Okay, and then bitters. Bitters are going to be very important for that. In fact, ginger could be something that you could add in, but bitters in general are going to help with the way that your body produces the appropriate amount of stomach acid. And in fact, when our friends were here from Australia, they spoke a lot about bitters being the #1 thing that they use to help people with digestive issues. And in fact, MediHerb is an incredible company. My favorite digestive bitters are going to be Digest Forte by MediHerb. And in here we've got gentian root, we've got tangerine fruit peel, feverfew leaf, ginger, wormwood, tangerine. So these are some excellent, excellent, excellent bitters, and I've found to be my favorite. I actually do go through these quite regularly myself to make sure that I'm helping. If that is not accessible to you, or if you need someone to help you find that, there are a lot of practitioners out there that can help you. But also I did find that there's a company called King Floyd's that gives you these. These were intended for alcohol drinks, but they're actually quite nice to be able to add to whatever you need to add in a little bit of bitters into your life to help with that aspect of it. Okay, best habits was the other question on that. And the habits would be adding in bitters, but also chewing your food. Chewing is incredibly important. Make sure you're doing that a lot. Chilling out before you eat. Let's see if I can think of another chew one. Choose smaller portions. Okay, so chill out, chew your food, and choose smaller portions. The portions of food, so you can actually do that. That's going to be the best things that I would do for that answer. How long does it take to heal your stomach, and can you test your stomach acid levels? You definitely can. There is a test for that, and if you find the right practitioner, they can help you with that. And how long it's going to take is really going to depend on all of the things that are going into your equation. So it's going to be different for every person. It could take 2 to 3 months, it could take 6 months, depending on how long you've been struggling with it and how much damage has been done. And of course, it also depends on how many things you're putting into your body that are going to slow down the healing process or make it harder on your body, and how many things you're doing to support it. So I would give yourself at least 2 to 3 months, and probably longer, to really get true healing done. How would you incorporate bitters? What are they? Examples, times, and amount. Already got that one. So the MediHerb one is going to be my favorite one by far. How do you do it? A little bit before the meals is going to be best. About 10 to 15 minutes is going to be a good baseline to get some bitters in before you eat. And the amounts you could, if you're doing these, just a couple of drops would be fine. And probably just one of the Digest Forte is going to be what I would do for that. And finally, how many times a day should you have a BM? Thank you for the illustration, by the way. That's really kind of interesting. So easy answer to that would be how many times you're eating. So I always tell people it's like an elevator. People get on the elevator. Before more people get on the elevator, those people should get off the elevator. And so actually the way your body works is when you do eat, it actually kind of signals to move things along. So as many meals as you're having should be about the amount of bowel movements you're having. 2 to 3 times a day is going to be a good rule. People who aren't going once a day, that's going to be my first benchmark. Make sure you're doing it once a day, and then try to get up to 2 to 3 times a day. And there are ways to train yourself to do it at the same time every day too, and that can actually be very helpful for your body. Okay, finally, any questions so far? Anything live that we need to answer? Cool. And if I'm going too fast, because am told many times that I talk really, really fast, just tell me, I'll slow down. But, okay, so I have a friend who's looking into genetic testing for nutrients that are being created specifically to that person, and was asking for some thought and feedback on it. And so here's a lot of thought and feedback on that. Number one, when it comes to genetics, there's a lot of information to learn about that, and we haven't really gotten to the point where we fully understand it. I really spent a lot of time trying to investigate it and understand it myself, and I feel like I wish I would have known all the things I know now back when I was actually really taking in the information, because it was just too much for anybody to really understand. But the first thing I want to think about is what they're not going to tell you with the genetics is the fact that it's not going to change the fact that you need certain elements. You need to have essential amino acids, you need to have your essential fatty acids, and you absolutely have to have all these minerals and vitamins. And that genetic test is not going to tell you about that. And if you're not satisfying those needs first, what is the point in getting this genetic information? Because the genetics is a very, very small subset of what's actually happened to you since you've been born. There's all these other exposures, all of these other limitations that you have been exposed to, and all these other stressors. And those are going to come to bear a lot more importantly on two people who have the same genetics but have had a very different lifestyle. So oftentimes the expression is that genetics loads the gun, but environment pulls the trigger. And so that is a huge thing to remember with that. And so if somebody's selling you on the fact that they're giving you specific vitamins that are just perfect for you because you have the MTHFR gene, single nucleotide polymorphism, that's going to make it so hard for you to be able to do this or that, well, there is some information that you can garner from that. But way more important is to first make sure your body is getting all of these essential nutrients and that it's digesting them. Without digesting them and without getting them, that genetic information is really, really not worth the investment at this point unless it's something very specific. So first, make sure you have the basics down before you start chasing all of these really complicated issues. Genetics can be helpful to understand, but there are other basic things we should be examining first. And then you never know what's going to make a difference after that. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back on Tuesday. If you have any other questions, there's no questions right now, right? Good. Keep them coming. Info@StrongOnHealth, and we'll see you guys in the next video.